Whenever you want to go live, bro. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Black Spinner Music Vidcast. And today's subject, we are going to be doing our top 10 artists or bands that have overstayed their welcome in the spotlight. I mean, when are these bands and artists going to hang it up? So we have our list ready. Joining us, as usual, is the great Al Horta. What's up, Al?
Nothing, man. Glad to be on here for this very negative show.
I never do negative shows. And I was very surprised I came up with this, but it sounds like fun.
It's all right, man. I mean, I want to say right off the bat that these are the opinions on this show do not reflect on anybody else or whatever, whatever that saying goes.
Right. But also, all these bands that I've listed, I love them.
Yeah.
Enough's enough. Yeah. And joining us is Jimmy James Swartz. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me on again. This is just, I always look forward to this. It's just, I feel like I'm just hanging out, talking to my buddies, talking music, and it's just always a good time. So thank you.
Jimmy James, one of the most positive guys on the internet, and he's on this negative ass show.
Put a little twist on it.
Yeah. And joining us today also is Joseph Stubb, the new voice on Cranium Radio on Sunday nights. Check it out.
Yeah, Joe, I didn't get a chance to check out was it the debut was this past Sunday? I think he's having a little trouble with his we lost him.
He didn't thank me for anything.
Jeez.
All right. He'll come back.
The nerve of that guy.
I gave him a really good introduction and he bails.
He loses it.
The negativity's starting already.
I know. There's so much negativity already, man.
I just say, hey, Joe, thanks for being here. I'm leaving. All right. Hey, Al, do you want to do what's spinning?
Sure, man.
Hey, Jimmy, what have you been listening to lately?
A few things. I've been listening to, I know Al and I have talked about him before, but it's a band IQ. They've got a new album out. They're a neo-prog band. And it's kind of in the Marillion vein, but it's I would say they get into more of the crazy time changes, time signatures and do a little stuff like that. New album called Dominion, and that's been playing pretty consistently. Ever since the big announcement came out, I've been spinning quite a bit of Rush. So in conjunction with the Caress of Steel Fly By Night show you guys did a few weeks back, I've been playing Caress of Steel a ton and Moving Pictures. But also, since the passing of the great John Lodge, I've been playing a ton of Moody Blues. This was it a 6 or 7 album run that they did. It's among the greatest run of records, and Days of Future Past in particular is one of the most beautiful records I've ever heard. It's the orchestration is just so lush. It's funny, I put it on the other day and my son came running into the room. He's like, "Dad, are you listening to a Disney soundtrack?" Like, because it kind of starts off with that sort of wild orchestration, and it's not wild orchestration, but just the lush, beautiful soundscapes. And sadly, I think most of those guys are gone from Moody Blues, and it's a band that they don't seem to get talked about a whole lot, and
they really don't.
I think they deserve more love and recognition, especially when you get into some of the progressive music. I mean, they were really right there at the forefront, and I think they deserve a little shine. So that's what's been spinning.
Oh, cool. I got to see Moody Blues like over 10 years ago in concert, and they were incredible, man. Sounded great. They played at this place in Newark, New Jersey called the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. It's like it's it's a theater, built for concerts. It has, the acoustics in there are just incredible, just tailor made for a band like that. They just sounded like incredible, and I'm glad I got to see them. At least once. I did see Justin Hayward a few years ago when he toured with Christopher Cross. That must have been
cool.
That was like 3 or 4 years ago already, and
nice.
that was
cool
great.
though.
Yeah, that was great too. But seeing the Moody Blues though was awesome. So I got to see John and stuff like that. So it was great.
That's awesome.
And you were just mentioning IQ. I got to see them too live once.
Oh, really?
They played every year in my hometown in Rahway, New Jersey. There was a little theater there, and they used to have a progressive festival there every year. A Prague. Prague stock. It's called Prague Stock.
Okay.
Right. And that year when I saw IQ, it was also Michael Sadler from Saga solo. It wasn't with Saga.
Nice.
It was just him. And a few other Prague bands. It was great, man. I think I saw like 2 years of that. Two different years. I'll have to go look back and look on the lineup because I kind of forgot. But there's a lot of those neo prog bands too, kind of mixed in, and great.
They're really hard to catch in the States too.
Yeah, that's why, and I was surprised they were having it like in my hometown in New Jersey, which is not a big town. It's weird. But I remember this last year, I think when they had it, they didn't have it for the first time in like a decade or something. They didn't have it in my hometown. They had it in more northern New Jersey, somewhere up there. But I'm already down here, so I wouldn't be able to attend it. But I remember Michael Sadler too. Wasn't he doing like something? Touring like something with like some other players, and what was it called? Prague something. It was he was doing all like sorts of different progressive songs, like covers. He was like a touring thing too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it now. Shit, it'll come to me though.
But they still do Prague
really
Stock,
cool.
though, right?
Prague Stock was last year, but it was in northern New Jersey, somewhere.
Okay.
Not in my town anymore. They did it in my town for like quite a few years.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was cool, man. I didn't go to every one of them, but
but
the ones I did go to was great. I mean, the following year, Saga actually played there in my hometown, and I fucking wasn't there. I was like, I could have had a chance to see them, but I was away.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit. But anyway.
So also we got Joseph Staub with us, the new voice of Cranium Radio on Sunday nights.
Oh, finally the proper. We thought you didn't like us, man.
Yeah, and he bailed.
I tell you what, I think it's been an issue for years now. My computer and StreamYard just do not get along. Like anytime I come onto StreamYard for anything, it immediately starts messing up, and like it'll sit there and just spin and spin and spin. Like I would see you guys for a minute, and then it would just start spinning and spinning the whole thing. So I'm not sure why, but my computer just does not like StreamYard.
Oh well, hopefully that'll be the only time it messes up on you. So Joe, tell us what's been spinning, man. So you got the new radio show and stuff. Have you been exploring new songs and new stuff? I mean, what's going on with you? It's been about a month since I spoke to you like this.
Yeah. I got a lot of different stuff spinning lately. I mean, old stuff, new stuff. But one of the things, and I put this in one of our group chats recently that I just picked up on CD recently, was the new Deftones album, Private Music. I'll tell you what, I forgot that this was even coming out. And I'm a big Deftones fan, love their early stuff, and I really love the two albums they put out in the early 2010s, Diamond Eyes and Koyo no Kan. Fantastic stuff. I wasn't really a huge fan of their last few albums, but I put this on, and I tell you what, it blew me away. This is a phenomenal album. I really, really like it. There's heavy stuff, but also some of Chino's best vocals in years he has on here. I mean, he sounds amazing on here. Beautiful melodies. It's a fantastic album. So if anyone hasn't checked this out yet, the new Deftones album, Private Music, I it blew me away. I've absolutely been loving this. Definitely was a surprise. And I put in one of our group chats last night. This is actually going to probably be one of the first years in a while that I will actually be able to make a top 10 list at the end of the year of albums that I've really loved. Because, I mean, the new Alice Cooper album and the new Styx album and the New Testament album especially, that's been amazing. And just so many great new albums this year that have really just blown me away. Yeah, definitely the new Taylor Swift album. Yeah. My number one with a bullet. But there's been some really great new music coming out. And this is just another example. Deftones Private Music. Really, really love this album. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend it.
Cool.
What about you, Al? It's a good record.
Last week I went to go see Everclear, Sponge, and Local H. So I've been kind of revisiting Sponge a little bit. So I bought like their first two albums with me, and I always bring, when I go to a concert, I don't know, man, I'm just weird. I always bring like a CD cover with me or whatever, because you never know if you're gonna meet somebody from the band. I'm such an autograph hound and whatever. Well, lo and behold, after their set, they were the first band on. So it was Sponge, then Local H, then Everclear, which surprised me. I really thought Local H was going to be the first one on, then Sponge.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. I would have put Sponge second.
Yeah, but maybe Sponge requested maybe to be on. You never know with bands, maybe sometimes bands like to be on early so they can get off early and get out of there. But lo and behold, after their set, they came out to the merch table, the whole band, and they were like taking pictures, signing, whatever, and so I bought their first. I have their first two albums already on CD for the longest time, and it's only Vinny Dombrowski, the original singer. That's the only original guy left. But they have the two brothers, Tim and Andy, that did production on their first two albums. So they're part of the band now. So they signed like the first two albums for me, And then since the whole band was there and they were cool, I actually bought like their latest album, which was this Sponge 1994. It's actually a covers album.
Oh yeah.
The whole band signed it. They even put like two out from New Jersey. You could see there. It's a covers album.
What covers are on there?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Cool. It's let's see here. First song is called Savory. It's by a band called Jawbox. The second song is Supersonic by Oasis. Third is Girls and Boys by Blur. The More You Ignore Me, The Closer I Get by Morrissey. Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon by Urge Overkill. Interstate Love Song by STP. No Excuses by Alice in Chains. Fade Into You by Mazzy Star. Bull in the Heather by Sonic Youth. And Can't Speak by Danzig. That's quite an eclectic.
That is definitely an eclectic lineup there.
And it's pretty cool that they did songs by their peers.
This is all from and they're all songs from 1994. That's the theme.
Yeah.
So which is cool, man. So I got to meet the whole band. They were great. I was wearing a King's X shirt and two of the guys, man, they were like, actually most of the band was like, they were like gaga over my shirt. And they were like, as a matter of fact, Tim, that's one part of the band. He's like, yeah, I actually had a King's X tribute band called Mr. Wilson. And I'm like, really?
That's
so
cool.
he was really like he was really like talking me up, and we were like bonding over the band and stuff. So
I'll tell you what, I saw Sponge open up for live on the Throwing Copper tour.
Yeah.
And they blew me away. They may be the one of the bands that, you talk about what opening act did you see that kind of blew your mind. And Sponge, you talk about like, it's that great melodic hard rock, kind of in the Cheap Trick vein with a little bit of edge to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that second album especially is phenomenal. Really good stuff.
Yeah, Wax Ecstatic, man. That's like Wax Ecstatic, man. You listen to this, it's really like a lot of 70s influences coming through on this one. You know, it's great, man.
It's something that's automatic. It's a Wax Ecstatic.
Yeah,
it's
Wax
really
Ecstatic.
good.
That was the song that opened up the set, actually.
Ooh, that's a good opener.
Yeah. Tomorrow, it's on the fence yet, but I might be going to see Jason Bieler from Saigon Kick and Jeff Scott Soto. They're touring together. They're doing a small show in Clearwater, Florida. So like I've been spinning the first Saigon Kick album. Love this album. So if I go tomorrow, it might be me and Manny going tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear back from my friend that's a promotions guy from one of the radio stations. He said he might throw me, if he has some extra tickets, he'll throw them to me. So I might be going tomorrow. So anyway, I've been spinning the first Saigon Kick album though. I love that album. And it's actually Jesus Christ, why am I spacing now? The drummer. Why can't I think of his name right now? It's his birthday today, though. The drummer. It's a drummer's birthday today. I can't think of his name. I'm getting old, man. I don't know what the hell's going on in my mind, but
Case of the olds.
Yeah, man. Anyway, hopefully I go tomorrow. If I go, it'll be a cool show. So I think they're playing a real intimate place. I think it's only like a couple hundred people. So, and I don't know what their format is. If it's just the two of them, just guitar, vocals. I don't know. I don't know if they have a whole band with them or whatever. But I'll see. If I see it tomorrow, I'll report back. Anyway, what do you got, Andy?
You know what? I've been buying a lot of stuff lately, and I decided to settle in and just spin whatever I have because I have so much that I haven't even heard or haven't heard in a long time. So, I was talking about this the other day. I'll pull out albums, I talk about them, but then I don't put them back where they belong, and I don't listen to them. I just keep moving them on. I just keep moving them around to different points of the room. So I said, you know what? Let me start listening to these as I put them up. And Rory Gallagher, Against the Grain.
Cool.
So I've got nothing new. It's just stuff that I've been digging.
I need to dive into some Rory Gallagher, man. I don't know much about him.
Great stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Great stuff.
Wasn't he in a band called Taste before he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch some live stuff. Super energetic. Like, just one of those dudes was just a spitfire.
Yeah.
Entertaining to watch.
I've seen live footage of him. Yeah, he's great, man. I just don't really know the albums. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have an album by him. I need to rectify that.
But that's about all. I got a lot of things scattered around.
Oh, by the way, the drummer's name is Phil Verone from Saigon Kick. That's a drummer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Phil Verone. He was also in the last incarnation of Red Dragon Cartel. He played on the second album that Jake put out, Red Dragon Cartel. He was a drummer on that. He also drummed for a little while, and he's on one of the Skid Row albums too. So, yeah, he's been in and out. He also had an adult film career as well.
Speaking of Skid Row,
speaking of diving head first. Anyway, Phil, I love you, buddy.
He's a public fornicator.
Actually, when I met him, when Saigon Kick played here last year, a year and a half ago, and I met him, he was a really, really cool dude, man. Real nice. Took the time to talk to me, and real cool dude, man. When I pulled out the Red Dragon Cartel album from the Sun, he was really proud of that. He was like, "Wow, he was like surprised that I pulled that out, and not just another Saigon Kick album, but." He was like,
I was about to say, I thought you were about to say you pulled out one of his VHSs or something.
Oh, yeah. Imagine that.
It's fine right here.
Yeah. I mean, he probably would have been proud of that, too. Who knows?
He probably would have shit.
It's when it's out on the internet, bro, you're done.
Yeah. Everybody knows.
So.
No, but anyway. I mean, if you would have pulled out a VHS or something.
A VHS.
Beta Max.
Hey, Phil, here's one of your best works right here, man. He probably would have laughed, man.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway. All right, Andy, man.
All right, getting back to it. Today, guys, we're going to be doing our top 10 bands or artists that have overstayed their welcome. Adios. Bye-bye. You haven't made an album in 40 years, but you're touring. And I feel that this is taking place and room of new bands. And that's what's hurting music, I think. We're letting these old bands get this cream of the crop, shows and these big arenas or these big venues where these up-and-coming guys can't get there, or they would have to get on a second bill with these older bands that, I mean, enough's enough. So,
yeah.
So that's just a thought of mine. I mean, I've got 10 bands that I absolutely love, but, you know, it's time to hang it up, and it's time to retire. It's time for you guys and gals to rest, relax, and, you know, enjoy the fruit of your labor. All right, so let's go ahead and do 3 at a time. Let's go 10, 9, 8, and so on and so on. I think that works pretty well, and we never lose anything that's said in a bundle. So, Jimmy, what's your 10, 9, 8?
All right, and I'm going to echo this. Most of these bands are bands that I love as well, and I'm going to start with one band that I've really gotten into over the last 5 years, and Australian band, Little River Band. And here's my primary gripe with the whole act, and I don't know how much you guys know about what the background is and what's going on. There are the 3 primary songwriters, Glenn Chirac, B. Birtles, and Graham Gobel, are no longer a part of the act. So it's essentially like the Beatles, someone touring as the Beatles without Lennon and McCartney. It's kind of in that vein. And when these guys kind of systematically quit the band, they sold off their rights to the Little River Band name in the US. So they still own the rights to their music, so they still get publishing from their music. However, because someone else, the bass player who started playing on like their 3rd or 4th album, owns the name Little River Band, these 3 gentlemen who wrote all of these amazing songs, sang these amazing songs, cannot tour in the US. And they've been wanting to, they had reunited in Australia years ago, and they wanted to come to the States and tour. However, the problem is most people don't know the names Chirac, Birtles, and Goebel the same way they know Lennon and McCartney. So if they go out and promote this tour, they can't use the Little River Band name. And if I want to hear anybody sing these songs, I want to hear those guys sing those songs. I don't want to hear, the bass player who came on 4 albums into the catalog and a bunch of studio musicians. I'm sure they do a fine job. I'm sure. And there's a lot of times where I'm okay. I went and saw Chicago a few months back, and it was phenomenal. 2 original members. You had 2 horn players left. And so, but it sounded great. And I knew that coming in. There's an understanding of it. And the reason most of the original members aren't touring anymore is because they can't. And I understand that. So, anyways, that's my number 1. Kind of along those same lines, my number 9 is going to be the Beach Boys. Love the Beach Boys. All the Wilson brothers are gone.
Yeah.
Mike Love is just cashing on the name and bringing John Stamos along. I'd go to see Uncle Jesse. That's what I would do.
Man, he's carrying all that money on his back, bro. He just, I mean, man.
When I took my daughter a few years ago to that, man, that was her. Uncle Jesse was there, man. That was good enough for her.
Right. I want to see Carl Wilson, but I can't.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is that when I was growing up, when I first saw the Beach Boys on TV and stuff like that, I always thought that Mike Love was the leader of the band. until I got older and started to get into the band and songwriting and who did this, who did that. I was like, this dude didn't do anything.
Right.
Well, if you listen to Mike
He'll tell
Love,
you
he's
different.
the leader of the band.
Yeah, he'll tell you differently. But,
I wrote those lyrics.
because if anyone's going to get credit for anything, it would be Mike Love. There's no way he will let that slide for
the rest of the band, they were all out getting sandwiches that day. He wrote everything.
Yeah, right.
What a moron. Oh my God.
Facts. My number 8, this one is probably the saddest one to me, and I don't know if this artist is out there doing this at his own will or if this is a bad case of elder abuse, but it's going to be Frankie Valli. And I don't know if you've watched any of those videos of this poor guy. It feels, and I could be wrong. Maybe this is what's keeping him going. I don't know. But this poor man is being paraded out there, and it looks like he has no idea where he is. He's lip syncing, obviously. And, you've got all these people dancing around him. And I sincerely hope he's doing this for his own, at his own will, because if he's not, and it doesn't seem like he is, it's pretty tragic that people are using him, an elderly man, to be their cash cow. So yeah, it's my 10, 9, and 8. Little River Band, Beach Boys, and Frankie Valli.
And he's in his 90s, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it's just that's a pretty sad one, man.
Yeah, those videos are some of the saddest things you'll ever see.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't know where he is or what he's doing. He's just
he's staring off in the distance. He's barely even moving his mouth. Like he's just they stood him up on stage and that's it.
I gotta be honest, it's like that. I felt that way like when I saw Brian Wilson a couple of years ago, man. I mean, they pretty much just propped him up behind the piano.
Yeah, they did.
Sings a couple words, maybe plays a little bit, and he's really there just as the prop, the legitimacy of it, and sadly he's gone now. I mean, I'll say that I'm glad I got to see him,
right.
But performance wise, it's just still. I mean, the band behind him was phenomenal, so. It carried him, you know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah, well, I saw Brian when they did the Beach Boys 50th anniversary tour.
I missed that one, man.
And he was fantastic, dude.
Yeah, that must have been great.
It was awesome. I mean, just like you said, because I saw the tour you're talking about. The first half, he was just there, just whatever. Then they took an intermission. He came out. Well, they all came out, and the second show, the second half was all him. He did like half of Pet Sounds, Heroes and Villains. The dude was throwing things out there. And he was fantastic.
That's great.
And I was expecting the same thing the second time around, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. All right, Joe, what's going on with you? What are you going to start off with?
All right, so I'll throw out my kind of background here as well, like you guys have. Most of these bands are bands that I love and respect. There are a few bands that are on here that I'm just like, just leave. Please leave. I'm done. I don't like you. I don't want to hear you anymore. Please leave. So, to start out, my number 10 is not one band, but it's an entire subset of bands. And there's a kind of a theme to it because you'll see a lot of these bands doing the same thing. And that is the third tier hair metal bands that are all still out there with usually one original member, or God knows, and we just had an example of this. Oh, our original drummer's back. He's back in the band again for the third time this decade, even though he's rejoined and left 3 times in the last 5 years. He's back again, and now we have headlines and Go buy our new album from Frontiers Records, even though we didn't write a single song on it. I can count. It would take me more than 2 hands to count the number of bands that could apply to.
I know the band you're talking
about.
And they all
play at M3.
I know the band you're talking about right now.
You know that one.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, they all play
They
at
start with a
M3,
B?
so I've seen all of them.
Do you start with a B?
They do start with a B. They do start with a B. I saw that band 4 years ago with the entire original lineup.
Hold on. Before boom.
I saw that band 4 years ago with the entire original lineup. Now all of a sudden they're posting on Facebook, our original drummer's back in the band for the first time in decades. He was in the band 3 years ago.
Yeah, during COVID.
He was literally in the band 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then left, and then came back again, and then left again. And you got Pretty Boy Floyd, you got Faster Pussycat, you got whatever version of LA Guns is touring this week.
Oh, they're making the rounds right now, all those bands.
You got all these bands that, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, and then on top of that, you got the ones where it's just a member of those bands, and the only way they can sell tickets is by marketing as this person of this band. That's it.
So basically,
Mike Tramp of White Lion.
Yeah, basically you're lumping all the third-rate hair metal bands into one thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Because all of them just need to go away because they had their 2 years in the spotlight and they all got run off the face of the earth the first time. Yeah. And then when all these festivals started popping up in the early 2000s, they all decided, hey, let's get back together. And they've been on and off ever since. They just need to go away. None of them sound good because trust me, I've seen all of them live. None of them sound good.
Yeah,
they just all need to go away. Yes, they
M3,
all play at M3 because that's the only people that M3 can get. Aside from a couple good headliners here and there, is all this just like third-rate hair metal that it's either no original members, one original member, or you'll see Mike Tramp of White Lion, not White Lion, Mike Tramp of White Lion, or Stephen Pearcy of Rat. That's the only way they can sell tickets is their name because nobody knows who they are of whatever band they were in. So that's my number 10 is an entire genre just needs to go away.
The whole thing.
Although Pearcy and DeMartini are playing down here Friday, I might go see that.
They weren't half bad. It was not great. I'll tell you that. They played M3 this year. It was not great.
Okay.
They weren't bad. Honestly, I think when I saw Pearcy last year solo playing all of Out of the Cellar, he sounded better then, honestly, than with DeMartini because I feel like it's – oh, the cops are coming for me.
The hair metal police.
The hair metal police. It's Tammy down driving a cop.
That guy Anthony, the hair metal guru, he called the cops on you, dude.
He called the cops on me.
I like that guy though. That guy's a great channel.
I was speaking the truth. The conspiracy theorists are after me. But yeah, so just all that whole like level of bands that are playing literally swap meets on a Sunday, and then they'll get a decent amount of money from M3 or Rocklahoma or Monsters on the Mountain or something like that to come and play a show. And then the only way they get headlines is by pretending like their drummer just rejoined the band for the first time in decades. Because that's the first time I've seen the Bullet Boys in the headlines in a while on a complete lie.
Yeah.
And like I said, I saw their entire original lineup 4 years ago. They weren't half bad, but like,
yeah, Mick Sueda doesn't even want anything to do with it now, man.
No. But like, who's going to pay money to go see the Bullet Boys headline a show in 2025? Nobody.
No.
I mean, the same thing with whatever garbage they're doing with Trickster or Danger, all this stuff where it's like they're going out and we're playing an acoustic set because we don't have a drummer. Or like it's as if hair metal wasn't already parody enough. It's descended into an even further level of parody.
Yeah,
with
I never even started down that tier 3 path.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
Oh yeah, no, and it's
at all.
Honestly, if it weren't for me going to M3 every year, I would have no clue that half these bands even still existed.
Yeah,
like whatever version of Enough's Enough, Chips Enough decides to bring out next week without Donnie V. Or like literally, and that's the thing is, except for like the last 3 or 4 bands every day at M3, it's that. It's literally just Chips Enough with some backup musicians, or Tammy Down with some backup musicians, or two-fourths of Bullet Boys. And for every and yeah, the headliners are usually pretty good, but like the lower level stuff, it's a little rough.
Well,
So that's my number 10.
Okay.
Forgive my rant
Jesus
on
Christ.
that one.
What's next? You're gonna lump in the whole Southern rock.
You're pretty close, but they're coming up.
Late
Yeah.
80s Southern rock.
My number 9 is this is part of the list of bands that I disliked from the beginning, and then now it's just a parody of itself. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi needs to just go home because they're going to still sell out big arenas because the soccer moms want to hear Living on a Prayer.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that's not even the stuff John Bon Jovi wants to be playing because he hates that stuff. He thinks he's some high-level grand musician that would rather be playing all the deep cuts off of Keep the Faith and
He's still trying to
Lost
pretend
Highway.
He's still trying to pretend he's Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah, no, he thinks he's Bruce Springsteen. He's
Yeah.
putting out country albums or this like deep, this house is not for sale, like all that garbage. And all anybody wants to hear is the stuff off the first 4 albums, and that's the stuff he hates playing. So you know what, John, if you hate playing it that much, stop being a sellout because we all know you hate that music. You're not hair metal, even though you will fully go on Hair Nation every 3rd song and promote yourself.
Yeah.
But they're not hair metal. But every half an hour I hear his voice on Hair Nation talking about Bon Jovi. Don't ask me how. So Bon Jovi and then God, who's even still in the band anymore?
Yeah,
They're
Bryan,
losing members left, right, and center. That's
Richie Sambora was my favorite member of that band. Anyway.
exactly. He was the only
we're
one
not
with any
Richie,
musical
man.
credibility.
We're not really.
Like-
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
But I will credit John though that he did shut it down touring with his fucked up voice.
Yeah.
So I give him some credit on that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't been. I mean, besides putting out an album last year or whatever, they haven't been active touring or anything. So
Yeah. I will say that wasn't even on my top 5 list of complaints is John's voice. I didn't even get to that. But yeah, his voice. They just need to. So that's my number 9. My number 8, and this one hurts me because I just saw them a couple years ago and I enjoyed them. I did, but I understand what people's complaints are, and that's Guns N' Roses. They just need to go away because. I understand. I enjoyed it because I didn't get to see them back in the day. I'm like, wow, I paid $30 for a ticket and they played 3.5 hours. That's awesome. I really enjoyed that. And they played a deep set list. They played some really cool stuff. I got to see them do Coma. I got to see them do some really cool stuff off Chinese Democracy. I really enjoyed it. Was Axl great? No. But I got to see 3 original members of Guns N' Roses play a pretty cool set.
Yeah.
That being said, I understand everyone's complaints. And the biggest reason I think they need to go away is they have nothing new to offer because any music that they've put out in the last 5 years is absolute garbage. Those new songs they keep putting out are atrocious.
They're bad.
And yes, I had to sit and suffer through Absurd when I saw them live.
yeah.
Thank God they didn't. Thank God I saw them right before The General came out. I didn't have to sit through that. So I was lucky enough not to have to see that, but they kind of like what Andy said earlier. They're one of those bands that is still kind of just in the way. Like they're a band that just has nothing left to offer. Do they still put on a pretty half decent show? Sure. They just have nothing left to offer. And the first time I saw them, they had Mammoth opening for them, which was great. But I mean, Wolfie's doing fine on his own. He didn't need Guns N' Roses to make him popular. Like Wolfie's doing fine on his own. The last time I saw them, they had the Pretenders opening for them, who are even older than they are, which is just, it was sad because Chrissy Hynde, God bless her, did not sound good. But it's getting to the point where they have nothing left to offer. They just need to kind of move aside because there's bands that are doing what they did much better than how they're doing. So. My number 10, third tier hair metal bands. My number 9, Bon Jovi. My number 8, Guns N' Roses.
it's like it's so odd to hear these bands that are in their 60s singing songs about how they felt in their 20s. It just doesn't go together. It doesn't match, and you don't buy it anymore. I just don't. All right, Al. 10-9-8.
Yeah. So my so again, this is my opinion. Who am I to say that these bands should end? I mean, that's their prerogative.
I know, yeah, that's true.
So that being said, my number 10, I'm going to go with Molly Hatchet. Who really is left in the band? I mean, I think the bass player might be
nobody. I don't think there's a single member of that band. I don't think there's a single member of that band that played on anything before like 1986.
Yeah. So
that's even alive.
And I love I love some of Molly Hatchet's music. It's great, but I mean, it's just morphing into like who's left in the band, bro? Nobody, from the original days, so the classic days, whatever you want to call it. So that's my number 10. My number 9 might surprise little people, but and this is a weird one, man, but I'm going to say Fear Factory. Now, Fear Factory is a weird one because, you had the original 4, which was great for a bunch of years. Then all of a sudden they kicked Dino Cazares out. They kicked him out. Christian O'Walber's from bass player moves up to guitar, and they basically wrote a song or an album about like how fucked up the guitar player was or whatever. Then a couple years later, Burton C. Bell reconciles with Dino, kicks the other members of the band out. So it's the two of them. Mm-hmm. Now Dino kicks him out, or whatever, owns the name, and has 3 guys that have nothing to do with the original band. It's just him and 3 other guys. Without Burton C. Bell, it's not fucking Fear Factory. No. Sorry, he had such a big part.
They are actually pretty good live. They are. They were pretty good. I saw them
with the new singer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw them.
I don't know, but
I saw them opening up for Static X 2 years ago.
You got to be good to fucking sing that stuff. Yeah. So
because it's the new kid on vocals. It's the bass player of Static X.
Yeah,
is the bass player, and then I don't know who the drummer is.
Yeah, so it's just so much dysfunction. It's just like either reconcile with the other guys or just stop, dude. Call it something else. Start a new band up, whatever, man. I love Fear Factory. It was one of my favorite '90s. I think I picked them in the 90s. That's one of my favorite bands. So
yeah, you did. But they have to use that name to make any money.
To sell tickets, yeah.
They need to use that name. And by doing that, they're dragging the name through the mud. And that sucks, dude. For fans like you, I mean, it used to mean something, and now it doesn't.
Because I know they're playing down here in Florida, but I have no desire to really go see them, So anyway. So that's my number 9. My number 8, I'm going with the Beach Boys as well. And listen, I've seen them a bunch of times, and it's entertaining, but at this point, I mean, whatever, man. Mike Love, just take it till your grave, man, whatever. But I mean, I wouldn't pay to see it though. I mean, I got comp tickets, I'll go see it, but whatever, man, just like I can't pay a dime to see some of these bands, dude, and as the list goes on, you'll see the point. So yeah, Molly Hatchet, Fear Factory, and Beach Boys.
All right, my list is going to be a bunch of these guys back here behind me. A lot of their music is here in this room. Multiple albums by these bands. So let me get started. When I go to a concert, I sure don't want to get hit in the face by a soccer ball kicked by a 80-year-old off stage. So that's why I don't want Rod Stewart to be touring anymore. He was on a award show probably about 2 or 3 months ago that he was getting some kind of lifetime award, and he sang a song. I think he sang Maggie May. It was just, I felt bad for him. I really did. And I just think it's time that he hung it up. I mean, these guys and these girls, I mean, what more can you accomplish? Well, you've already accomplished everything in this business. So So Rolling Stones there. I'm
Rolling
gonna go.
Stones.
Huh?
Wait, hold on. Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart. Yeah,
You said
Rod
Rolling
Stewart.
Stones.
I'll get to Stones later. It was on here. It's on my phone. But I'm gonna
Spoiler
go
alert.
when number 9. It pains me to say this, but your partner's not there anymore. But I'm gonna go with Steely Dan. I love Donald Fagen, but Becker's not with you. Every summer you go out with a whole different band, which is fine, but it's just time, Donald. It's not the same anymore. It's not the partnership that I love. It's not the songwriting. It's not the yin and yang. I mean, it's not there anymore. I know that y'all have always had movie musicians and this and that. That's understandable, but without Becker, I understood maybe playing another tour or so to close ends or to fill in obligations, but it's already been time that Steely Dan hung it up. And my next one, a lot of people might disagree with this or might agree with it. I'm going with Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's been time. They've had about 4 albums that are absolutely meaningless. They tour and they take up all these big spots that could be taken by newer artists or something different. Instead, we need to hear Sex Blood, Sugar Sex Magic, and Californication. I mean, enough's enough. That's already.
Andy, it's not even like that. That's the sad part. I'd rather they played that.
Yeah,
they aren't even playing that. I said it before. They are one of. I've never been as disappointed seeing a band live as I was seeing the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
they were utterly abysmal. They were just they barely played for over an hour, and they're the headliner of their own tour. It wasn't like it was a festival. Their own tour, they barely played for over an hour. They played for an hour, but barely.
Right.
They looked like they didn't want to be there. Their set was awful. It was half new songs. They didn't play half the stuff that people wanted to hear them play, and they just jammed for a while, and it was horrible. And I was really disappointed. And it was one of the worst shows I've ever been to, and it really put me off from them because I enjoy them. They're not one of my favorite bands. I like some of their stuff, but that just really put me off from them as a band because they seemed like they were finally getting back on track with the guitarist with Frusciante coming back in for the 12th time. For the 12th time, and they looked like they were finally getting back on track. And then those new albums that they put out were garbage. And then
you can't even tell that John Frusciante came back.
No,
you can't even tell.
No, then I saw them live, and it was one of the most disappointing shows I've ever seen in my life. And I was completely turned off from them from then on.
I saw them with Navarro, and I don't think anything could top that.
No, gosh,
so I was like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah,
I've seen them twice. I've never seen them with Frusciante. I saw them at Lollapalooza in '92 when they headlined, and Arik Martin, I can't remember.
Arik Marshall
was he was playing, and they were good, but that show with Navarro was off the charts. It was. I love that. That's the last album I
haven't really liked. To be honest with you, I haven't really liked anything they put out since One Hot Minute.
Yeah.
But that comeback with all that Californication and all that, Stadium Arcadium. I don't know, man. I
like a lot of Stadium Arcadium.
They're not albums that I pull out, though, man. To me, my Chili Peppers was like Mother's Milk and some of the early stuff and Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That's a classic album. That's a great album. And One Hot Minute is an underrated with Navarro. I think that's he brought this harder edge to them. And I kind of like some of the when I saw them with Josh Klinghoffer, I thought they were pretty good with him too. But I haven't seen them with Frusciante. I never saw them with him. So
here's an example. This is the set list. They played 15 songs. That was it. Headlining, they played 15 songs. And it wasn't like they had a bunch of opening acts. They had like 2 opening bands. That's it. They played 15 songs. 5 of them were singles.
Jeez.
5. Of the ones that were non-singles, they played 4 songs off of the last album. With that weird double album they put out that was like 2 different albums, but they put it out at the same time.
Yeah, same year.
They played 4 songs between those 2 albums.
Yeah.
They played like random deep cuts off By the Way, which whatever. Literally they played 2 songs that came out before 1999.
Wow. Yeah. You see,
They're almost you were just talking about Bon Jovi before, man. Like, I think they almost reminded kind of Bon Jovi. Like after Navarro left and they kind of went away for a few years, they come back with this kind of reinvent. Like we've reinvented ourselves into almost this adult contemporary fucking kind of band, dude. There's like no edge to them hardly. Like I don't know, dude. It just when they came back, and I heard like some of the stuff, I was like, this ain't the Chili Peppers I know, bro. You know,
they eliminated everything that made them unique.
Yeah,
everything that made them great. They stripped it. Flea quit slapping and doing all his funky.
And they just started to sound like everybody else.
Yeah, dude. It was just like they, you know, just kind of turned into U2.
I'm sorry. I lied,
man. But like, you know,
it wasn't even. They didn't even have. They had 1 opening act and played for barely an hour.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. That's
garbage.
Like, the sad part is literally the only things that they played from before Californication were Give It Away and Soul to Squeeze.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, yeah.
All right, enough on them.
All right, Jimmy.
All right. So number 7, we're on 7, right?
765.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to piggyback on one of Joseph's pick and go with Guns N' Roses. A lot of the same reasons. I'd rather hear Slash make new music with Miles Kennedy. And honestly, I think the best musician in that band right now is Richard Fortus. That guy is a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
And I would rather hear him do something. So we've got that. My number 6, again, somebody I absolutely love. The first 4 or 5 albums this person did are kind of in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Great classics. They've now done such modern day classics as My Baby Likes My Butter on Her Grits, Bridge Over Troubled Daughters, and I Love My Barbecue. None other than the Motor City Madman himself, Ted Nugent.
Love Grenade, baby. Love Grenade.
That's just Girl a few Scout of the modern day classics.
Girl Scout cookies, bro.
Raw dogs and warthogs.
Thankfully for most of the world, he is pretty much retired. So
right.
Yeah, he kind of he kind of stepped off. So
yeah, and I know he's kind of on that retirement path, but I mean, some of these songs are over 20 years old.
Yeah,
and it's just like, Ted, what are you doing?
Ted Nugent, not counting Damn Yankees, he hasn't put out any good music since 1982.
Right.
Long,
pretty much, yeah.
Right. He needs Derek St. Holmes. Like that's a must. So, but those, like I said, man, those first 4 or 5 albums are some of the greatest rock records with some of the greatest guitar riffs.
He was unstoppable at that time, man.
All time, man. And you talk about tone. You know, when he'd have all his sweet spots on the stage where he'd get his feedback. Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ted's my number 6. And number 5, this one, I'm not a huge fan of this band, but I don't understand how Linkin Park can go on without Chester Bennington. It just, I like a few songs, but it just doesn't connect with me. You know, it's kind of, Chester was such a big part of that sound and what they did, and
his angst or whatever. It's I don't know. It just doesn't, like I said, it doesn't connect with me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it goes back to having the people perform their words and perform their thoughts and perform their songs. It sucks when someone else sings these songs that have so much emotion to them.
Mhm.
You're just saying words to me. You're not singing it to me. You know, and that really cuts deep. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, that's my 765.
All right, Joe. 765, brother.
All right, my number 7. This is more of a just I wish this person would go away so I never have to read their name in the headlines ever again. If I never hear about Ronnie Radke and his computer ever again, Falling in Reverse just needs to go away because I'm tired of reading about it. Because every day he's pissed off at somebody different. He's in feuds. He's suing people because they made fun of his computer. Like, just
the music doesn't
make
the music
awful
doesn't,
music.
Yeah, the music doesn't keep his music doesn't keep him in the spotlight, so he needs to complain about something.
Yeah. It's a different version of the third tier hair metal bands. They got to do some kind of stunt to get in the headlines. So he just needs to go away. I'm sick and tired of seeing his name everywhere. See you later, Ronnie. My number 6. This is a band that I like. I'm not as fanatic about them as some people are. I know Mark Alden Taylor will get pissed off at me because I think he thinks they're the greatest thing in the history of music, and I think that they're a little overrated, actually. But how Foreigner is still touring in 2025 is beyond me.
A little overrated. I mean, those guys
I was being nice. I was being nice.
Those guys had a good few hits until 81.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You're right. Sorry, Mark. Lou Gramm is not even in the top 30 greatest vocalists of all time, and not gonna get into that. But how they are still touring with not only no original members, but now they're losing members that have been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Now Kelly Hansen just left. It was his last show. Like last night or the night before? Yeah. And now they're going with some new singer. And they're just going to keep going and going over it.
The singer they're picking is the guitar player in the band. He's moving into the Luis Montanaro. Yeah.
And it's like it's funny that like everybody always accused Kiss of being like, oh well, our personalities can just carry on forever even if we're not in the band. Foreigner's doing that, like actually, like they're on their like 4th tier singer now, and there's no original members left touring in the band. Not that they were like this great bombastic touring act to begin with. Like they haven't. When was the last time Foreigner made a new album?
But dude, they sell tickets every summer.
But not like giant headlining stuff.
No,
like,
you know,
they have to. It has to be a co-headliner. They can never tour by themselves.
No,
at least here, it has to be a co-headliner. And I mean, if
the last couple of times I saw Foreigner, it was either with like Styx or
and the last couple, and like last year when they toured with Styx, I know which one's the draw on that bill, and it's not Foreigner.
Exactly.
Because I know the numbers that Styx does.
Yeah.
They aren't there to see Foreigner. They're there to see Styx. And at least Styx has some classic members left.
Yeah, of course.
It's sad because I feel like they have hits and people know their songs and people want to see their songs. But Foreigner, even in the 80s and 70s, I'm sorry, Mark, Foreigner was such a nameless, faceless band that they can just push anybody out there on stage and sing those songs and people will lap it up. Because I'm sorry, I guarantee you that not a third of the people that even are at that concert know who Lou Gramm is. Or know who Mick Jones is. Or know who any of these people are.
They were a faceless band, dude.
They were. And that's why they're still able to do that.
And I'm not slamming them for it, but
no,
that's the way
I'm not slamming them at all.
Yeah.
They're making money. Good for them.
They made good songs and
I think that they're a band that just like it's time. Like I don't think anybody's gonna throw a fit if they don't get to go out and see a third tier singer singing Jukebox Hero next summer. I really don't. Because there's enough cover bands that are singing that song that they can go see at their local Elk Lodge. Like it literally would sound no different, and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
So that's my number 6. And my number 5 is another one that's just, it's sad at this point, especially with losing the last original member a couple years ago. And Al hinted at it earlier. Leonard Skinner. It's when he mentioned the Southern Rock, it's Leonard Skinner. Because I'm sorry, having Ricky Medlock out on stage does not a Leonard Skinner tour make.
No.
He wasn't even on any of those albums. He was an original member of the band, yeah, but then left before they actually put out an album.
I finally own Leonard Skinner.
Correct, and that's sad.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, it's one of those rare. It's literally like Pete Best going out on tour as the Beatles, because now that Rossington's dead, and there's nobody left.
Or it's like you're dating this chick, and then years later you become her sixth husband. You know,
pretty much. And it's sad because that's another band that, like, yeah, I mean, they're definitely not a nameless, faceless band. People know who was in Leonard Skinner. Like, people know those names.
Yeah.
But you put people up on stage and play Freebird, people will sing along. Like, it's just, it's what it is. And it's sad because they still sound decent. And, like, there is still someone with the last name Van Zant singing those songs. And they sound okay, but it's gotten to the point where they're not Leonard Skinner, and it's getting to the point where that's one band where you are actually doing a major disservice by continuing to tour under that name. Especially, I mean, it was getting to be a point where it was a major disservice when they did more than just one reunion tour, because they always said they were never gonna. Then they did that '87 tour, and then they just kind of never stopped.
I've never seen any incarnation of Leonard Skinner.
Neither have I. And I always, they've been around plenty of times, and I always kind of just, I'm not going to go out of my way to it.
In the mail, to go see them and Brett Michaels. Mm-hmm. I just had to go to some kind of pro-gun rally. I was like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know about all that.
That's a lot for fake Leonard Skinner and Brett Michaels.
The crazy thing though about no, I was just saying the crazy thing about Ricky is Blackfoot's a great band.
They are,
and they were out touring with no original members.
Yeah, because Ricky Medlock's too busy playing Leonard Skinner.
Quite frankly, I'd rather see him play Blackfoot songs because they rock.
Because those are.
I'd rather see him play on the songs that he actually recorded.
The problem with that, though, is that it's not as big of a draw as Leonard Skinner.
As the name Leonard Skinner and Blackfoot. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, the last couple of times I saw Skinner. I mean, I've seen Skinner a bunch of times. I've always gotten free tickets for them. Never paid to see them, except the first time I saw them. I think I saw them in '94 when they toured with like Ted Nugent, and that was a great show. And Ted was just fresh out of Damn Yankees, so he was even doing like some Damn Yankee stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, it wouldn't
Did he
hurt,
do My Baby Loves My Butter on Her Grits?
No. He didn't. I don't think that was out yet at the time.
Dang it.
In '94. Anyway, it wouldn't hurt for Ricky Metal. It wouldn't hurt for him to at least throw in Train in the Skinner set. How? I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
He'll just let Warrant play it.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, but you're right. You're right. He should. It's a bigger draw, but man, I really enjoy listening to Blackfoot. It took me a while, and I think I found a Blackfoot record like for $1, and I grabbed it. I said, "Oh well, but it was fucking badass.
Yeah,
it was a great album,
great stuff.
They're heavy, man.
Yeah. This is really good stuff.
But the thing is, and it's sad just because there's a lot of bands where you can do the foreigner thing and just go out and play, and it doesn't hurt anybody, and it's whatever. Yeah. Leonard Skinner is one where it's actively dishonoring the memory of people to still be going out and doing that. All these years later, it was one thing when it was Rossington and a couple other members that were in the original band that were going out as a tribute. It's not that anymore. Yeah. It is, I am on stage playing songs that I did not write and did not play on because they're making me a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm. And they have changed the whole identity of
Yes.
what Leonard Skinner stood for.
Mhm.
Big time.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Are you? Is it your set through, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. Al.
All right, man. My number 7, and when they were one of my favorite bands in the '80s, man. I love them, but it's time to retire, and that's Dokken. Don Dokken's voice is completely gone. There's like no power in it no more. The last time I saw them a few years ago when I still lived in New Jersey, I was just like, dude, why are you doing this, man? You know, I mean, I've enjoyed the last couple of George Lynch shows I've gone to. It's way better people singing the stuff, and he's not calling it Dokken, so it's Lynch Mob or George Lynch. It's actually George Lynch that I've seen. So, and he's doing all Dokken sets or whatever. So that's more legitimate to me than going to see Dokken actually. So, yeah. Number 6, and ironically, this is funny. Number 6, I'm actually going to see them Saturday night. So I have free tickets to see them. It's Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, Steve Howe's the only guy left. And at this point, what's the point? I mean, you might as well just fire up Asia because Yes is more Asia than it's Yes now. To be honest with you,
yeah, because I think Jeff Downs is there,
dude. Combine the two and just call it Yasia or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know, man, but yeah, I am going to see them Saturday night. I was handed some free tickets, so why not? It's a Saturday night. Fuck it. That's my number 6. My number 5 has been said before, Guns N' Roses. When they first came back, the whole hoopla was great. They sounded great. I mean, that's already over 10 years ago already.
Wow.
And as they just kept the touring thing going and going and going and going and going and going and going. No new music. I mean, yeah, a couple new songs, but they suck. No prospect of them getting into a studio, at least writing some music. Nothing, dude. It's just let's just be a touring machine to the point where it wears Axl's vocals down to where he's sounding like fucking Mickey Mouse, dude. And it's just ridiculous now. And it's just time. I think you should just stop. But they'll keep going or whatever, and I don't have to go to it. So again, it's these artists' decisions to tour. I'm not the one that's running the show. It's their prerogative, and God bless them, man. They want to keep going until they're gone. That's on them, man. Sometimes we talk about, listen, these guys they don't know what else to do.
Right?
That've been their whole life. I just vote with my wallet. You know what I mean? Even though I'm going to see Yes Saturday, I didn't pay a dime for it. So, but you know what? I do enjoy seeing Steve Howe. He's still a phenomenal guitar player. I love, they're doing the whole Fragile album. So kind of cool to hear that. So anyway, that's my, so it's Dokken, Yes, and GNR.
Yeah, I saw Yes probably a few months ago with that lineup.
Yeah.
But they didn't play all Fragile. But dude, it's great to see Steve Howe play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still great. I am going to go with a band that I really don't like to begin with. I might have liked maybe an album or two back in 87 or 89. Anyway, Skid Row. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Skid Row. I'm so sick and tired about this new singer, that new singer. Oh, well, let's see if Sebastian Bach. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if Bach comes back or they don't want Bach. That shit was over almost 40 years ago. I mean, and I just never heard anything after Subhuman.
Well, they weren't around 40 years ago, but
well, you know what I mean.
I know.
Okay.
I'm joking, man.
30 years. 30 years ago, he left. Yeah, he left 30 years ago already.
Yeah, 95, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Even better. So, Skid Row on that one. And one of my favorite bands when I was growing up, and we talk about them almost every week, multiple times, but Motley Crue. I mean, there's no point that they should be doing anything right now. Mick Mars is gone. You got John 5 there. If you played me a new Motley Crue song, I wouldn't know it was John 5. If I didn't know
John 5 is the Tommy Thayer of Motley Crue.
He's just there. That sucks because the guy is so creative and so awesome, and now he's here.
Dumbing down his playing.
Exactly. And those new songs that they
not to call Mick Mars a dumb guitar player. I mean, he was. I liked his riffs and stuff, but
but they're different.
He's not John 5.
No.
Yeah, they got different technique, different style, almost a whole different kind of genre of music. But when they did that stupid cover of Like a Virgin, it was horrible.
Oh my God,
the stupid version of "Fight for Your Right to Party." Dude, y'all are in your 60s. I mean, I don't know.
That whole canceled EP they put out was awful.
It was bad, dude. That was not. When that first single came out, I think a lot of us tried to force ourselves to like it, but it was bad.
Yeah.
And there's no need for them to be doing this.
I think someone should do a scientific study on Tommy Lee to see how he's still alive. I really don't see how that guy hasn't.
He's more hepatitis C than man now.
Holy shit.
Dude, but these guys look like they're pumped up with Vaseline or whatever, dude. It just looks. I mean, dude, it's a day. Enough's enough. I saw this guy in concert a few months ago, and Al saw him too with Eddie. Bob Dylan. I was excited to go see him. I don't know why. Because I saw him in 2000, and I didn't understand a word in 2000. I don't know why 24 years later it was going to miraculously sound better. I understood one song. Really. I understood one song. Other than that, I was trying to figure out what songs he was playing. His whole, I don't know if this was for you too, Al, but on stage it wasn't spotlights, there were lamps.
Yeah, it was very dark.
It was like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah,
that's weird in itself. Like he doesn't.
And Eddie, I went with Eddie kind of Strachey, and it was. He's a much bigger fan of him than I mean, especially even the later stuff. I guess now his, the later albums or whatever. I have no clue about them. I just know kind of the classic stuff.
Me too.
And dude, he hardly played like no classic.
No,
and I respect him. And I respect. You know what? If you want to do that, I mean, I guess he could do whatever the hell he wants. I just didn't know what the hell he was playing. Those points. Those points, I gotta be honest with you, I was falling asleep at the concert, man. And
the only song that I recognized was "Don't Think Twice, It's All Right." Other than that, I mean, it wasn't even the songs that I didn't recognize.
He did different arrangements of things too, It
was words that I couldn't follow.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I didn't know what song it was, or if I never heard the song, at least I could hear words and enjoy it. This was a big gloppity gook. It really was. All put together and thrown at you. And then he's got the lights so low that you can't even see his face.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a reason for that, but
it might have just been a stunt double up there. You don't know.
You never know.
And I'm going to go with Al already said it. Yes. I love Yes. I love all of their 70s albums. And I liked what they did in the 90s. They got back together. They toured together. They did this and that. But I thought that's when I called it quits. Instead, Yes is going in so many different directions. You got this guy over here, this guy over here. This guy's formerly of Yes. And it just, enough's enough.
Well, Steve, it's just that Steve Howe just refuses to work with John Anderson anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, at least, dude, have John Anderson back, have Rick Wakeman back, have some sort of legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't want anything. It's money, dude. It's definitely money.
It's got to be money because, you can pay this guy an X amount of dollar, but you ain't going to. But you better not.
You can underpay John Anderson.
John Anderson.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll
you
tell you
better
what,
not
in 2020,
read
in
those numbers.
2025, I'd much rather go see John Anderson and the Band Geeks than see
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I
You
haven't
took the
seen
words
that.
right out of my mouth.
I haven't seen them yet, but I heard they're phenomenal, man.
That live album they put out is amazing.
The last time I
he's
saw
so
John
funny.
Anderson, was with when it was ARW.
Yeah.
When it was with Rabin and Wakeman. That was great too, man.
He still has a great voice.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
He does.
Plus,
right.
he has Richie Castellanos in his band, and that helps anybody.
Yep.
Yes, Richie.
So,
like
so
Richie.
those are my choices for that round.
All right.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna piggyback on that because Yes is on my list as well. And like Joe said, I would much rather see John Anderson and the Band Geeks. Um, I'll tell you what, John Anderson a couple years ago put out the Yes studio album that we've been waiting to hear for years.
Mm-hmm.
That album is phenomenal. It is a Yes album. It is more a Yes album than anything else in the last probably 15 years that's come out with the Yes logo on it.
Probably since
Terrible album cover.
Magnification, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you haven't heard it, it is fantastic. And it's with the Band Geeks. Those guys are incredible. Every single one of them. And like you said, John Anderson sounds amazing. So that's going to be my next one. Kind of along those lines. I don't understand how you can have a touring version of Grand Funk Railroad without Mark Farner.
Mm.
And they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, it's
A long time.
To me, Mark is Grand Funk Railroad.
Yes.
You know, and I love that band. I got to see the original lineup when they reunited in the 90s, and it's one of my favorite memories to see those guys, because the original three, and you get those early records before they got the keyboards, some of the funkiest hard driving rock music you'll ever hear. I remember when I first dropped the needle on the Red album, the self-titled album, and got this thing on the move kicked in, that distorted bass, just sheer power. And I have no desire to see them without Mark Farner, and no disrespect to anybody that's been in the band. I love Bruce Kulick, and I know he toured with them for years, but that's not a draw for me. So
Yeah.
I'm going with Yield Grand Funk Railroad. Next, again, I love this band, but they've been caught lip syncing, I think, on several occasions. If you go and watch, if you've ever seen Wings of Pegasus on YouTube, he does a whole analysis of vocal tracks.
Oh, I know what you're talking
And
about here.
yeah, he takes software, measures the sound waves, and you can match it up. And when it matches perfectly, that means you're using the same track, because nobody sings the same line the same way twice.
Yep.
And it's the Eagles. Love the Eagles. But when you're charging in excess of $1,500 for a ticket,
They're crazy.
not only that, but Don Henley does not need the money to go out there and to pretend to sing his own songs. This man has one of the top selling albums of all time.
Two of the top selling albums of all
Right.
time.
Right. In the top, 3-5 albums ever. He's good. He's set. His kids are set. I don't see how you can get on a stage and justify charging that kind of money and not give people a live track. If you need help, if you need people, if you need background singers, I get that at his age. But
Don't fake it, man.
that's not okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind
pretty
of gross.
obscene, pretty obscene fucking ticket price, man. Yeah, it's
Dude, those
bullshit.
ticket prices are crazy. I saw them back when the Hell Freezes Over tour. I think it was like 94 or 95, something like that. It was great, but dude, there's no way I would pay these prices that they're asking for.
No.
And I would
even. Yeah, they were the first band I remember charging like $50 a ticket.
They were the first band to break $100.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Were they?
Yeah, they were the first band to charge $100 for a ticket in the 90s.
So well, and I'll tell you what,
they set the precedent, man.
Yeah. And it was that Hell Freezes Over tour when they started doing that, because
at that time $100 a ticket was obscene, dude.
Yeah.
Think about it. In like the early to mid 90s when they reunited, 94 or whatever. Nope. Dude, who the fuck was not even the Stones were charging $100 a ticket.
Right. Well, it was the same night in Indianapolis. The Eagles were playing at the Outdoor Shed, the venue, Deer Creek, and at Market Square Arena, where the Pacers play, the basketball arena. Page and Plant were on their first reunion tour, or whatever. I don't know if you want to call it a reunion or not.
Yeah, the Unleaded tour. Yeah,
I went to the Page and Plant show. They were half. Those tickets were half of what the Eagles were charging. I paid $25 to see Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
Yeah,
25. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's what tickets were in the early to mid 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the Eagles. Okay, I love the Eagles, but I can go see somebody that's equally as legendary. You know what I mean? To go see Jimmy Page on stage and Robert Plant, give me that. You know what I mean? So
I saw those two tours in the 90s. They were phenomenal, man.
Oh gosh, so good. And they played all deep tracks.
Oh God.
I mean, it was I think the biggest hit they played at that show was Black Dog. I remember they opened up with Thank You, and they did play Kashmir because they had an orchestra out there, but they were playing stuff like In the Light. I mean, it
was just incredible, man.
So good. So good. So I'll step off my soapbox and let Joe talk.
All right, Joe. So my top four are all bands that I love, and my number four is one that it's getting pathetic, and especially after the big blow up earlier this year in the news of, is Zach Starkey in the band? Is Zach Starkey not in the band? Is he in the band? Is he not in the band? Of course, I'm talking about the Who. It needs to stop, because that's another one. They're definitely using tracks and just all the drama going on, and it's not. Like, it's not.
Well, let's see if they hold it to.
We'll see. We'll see. And that's a theme I'm about to follow of bands that basically said they were retired. My top three are all bands who at one point or another have said they were retired and then came back.
Yeah.
My number two is the core. It's a conglomeration.
Well, number three, because that was your number four.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my number three is a conglomeration of two because they are together. The Corpse That Won't Die, Kiss, and their sad little side project known as Ace Frehley. And it's so sad when it comes. I mean, everybody knows the issues with Kiss. Everybody knows those issues. They've been gone over. They all just need to go away. They just need to never. They need to go in a cave and never come out again. Like, nobody cares anymore. Other than the insane Kiss fanatics, are gonna pay thousands of dollars to go out to Las Vegas and get in a line to give them all blowjobs. But I mean, what else are they paying thousands of dollars for? Not to see them play music. Like, and the sad part is, not even 10 years ago, Ace Frehley was probably more popular and more acclaimed than he had ever been. Yeah. He was on top of the world in the early 2010s because everyone was looking, oh my God, Kiss sounds awful. Paul Stanley can't sing. It's just, it's atrocious. This is awful. Look at what Ace is doing. Space Invader came out and everybody loved it. He sounded great live. He had a great backing band with him. He was on top of the world. He was getting all this great coverage in the media. And then around 2018, because I will say, I was at the very first show that everyone looked at him and said, something's off. Something's not right with Ace. It was 2018 at M3, and he sauntered out on stage, high off his ass on something, and it was not good. And that was the first show everyone's like, Ace was a little off today. I don't know what that was about. Maybe he was just sick. Maybe he just wasn't feeling well. And then just a consistent downturn from there where it's just gotten laughable. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen this year at M3, him trying to play music. It was awful. Wow. And now he's had to cancel all these shows because of an accident that they won't say what happened.
Yeah.
And that just screams something's up.
Yeah. And even Eddie Trunk said he's not at liberty to say what's going on.
Yeah. I don't like to say this about people. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the news sooner than later.
I agree with
him.
Yeah.
He's one of those, I'm just like, whatever's going on with him, Ralph and Ian always like to make the jokes about the pills and everything. Whether it is truly that, or if he's just not in good health, something's very wrong. And I think it's gonna hit the point here soon where we're gonna find something out.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
either way, anything Kiss related, it just needs to stop. And Kiss is my favorite band of all time. I'm allowed to say these things. It just needs to stop. My number 2, and this is probably the saddest one of all. I could give a fuck about my number 1. I think they're all awful people. We know who my number 1 is. We all know who my number 1 is. They can all go piss up a rope. I don't care. My number 2, I am legitimately sad about. Because everyone knows the issues they went through about 10 years ago. An original founding member died, and one of the most important members of the band. And other members all of a sudden started trickling out, and they had some issues with people leaving. And then it looked like they were done. And then all of a sudden during COVID, wait, there's a new album coming out? And the album was amazing. And then they toured. And then they toured. And it's back to 2 members of the band. And it's just, it was sad seeing some of the footage earlier this year of AC/DC. It was legitimately sad to see the condition that band is in, because 10 years ago, it was understandable. You lose Malcolm, Brian Johnson had his issues going on, Phil Rudd had his legal stuff going on. Yeah. Cliff just said, you know what, I'm done. And then it was just Angus. And you know what? That Axl Rose tour, it was cool. It was great. I still like going back and looking at footage of that. They sounded great. They pulled out some great deep cuts. The band was done. Then all of a sudden, here comes a brand new album, and Power Up still is an amazing album.
It's good.
And I wish they would have just left it like that. Because then when they had that Power Up festival, and everyone's just like, ooh, well, that was a little off.
Power Trip, yeah.
The Power Trip festival. Yeah. And everyone's just kind of like, oh, well, that could have gone better. And then they did that tour this year, and it wasn't good. Brian Johnson didn't sound good. They're playing songs at half speed. Angus just looked old. And for a band that they don't need to be touring anymore. They don't. They're a band that they're set. I mean, how many millions and millions and hundreds of millions of albums have they sold? And they're all credited to the same people. They are set for life. They don't need to be doing this anymore. And just it's sad the damage that they're doing a little bit to their legacy by continuing to do this when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like I think people were happy when they announced the tour. I don't think in 2025 anybody was out there pounding the pavement begging AC/DC to tour. Yeah. It's just kind of sad. So that's my number 2.
That was one of the I mean, I did go see them this year when they played down here in Tampa, and it was cool to take my daughter to go see them.
Yeah.
It was another thing where, like, at least she got to see them, some incarnation of them.
Yeah.
And Angus was entertaining enough for her, you know. But, like, for me, seeing them, you know, when Malcolm was still in the band, and now seeing them now, they're down to 2 members, you know. It's just kind of like, yeah. I agree, man. I agree with that one.
Yeah.
But, you know, Raymond James Stadium was packed, dude.
They're still going to sell tickets, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. A lot of the bands on this list, it's more like, okay, I just don't want to see you anymore, just leave.
Yeah.
This one is one that I'm just it's sad.
Yeah.
Like, I legitimately feel bad for them.
I love that band
because
too,
I love them so much.
Yeah.
And they're not doing their legacy any favors right now.
Yeah. All right.
Al.
Number 4, Foghat. Down to the drummer, man. I just saw them like last year with Eddie Canestracci.
Yeah.
And it was okay, but it's just, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
You know, really.
Yeah.
I won't harp on that too much. Number 3, Leonard Skinner. It's been said already. Dude, it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, there's no original members left. There's no classic members left. There's no nothing. It's just, you know, Johnny's Ronnie's brother, and he's been there since, you know, late 80s or whatever. But I don't know. There's no other member left in there. You know, I mean, Ricky Medlock, but again, he was the original drummer, but he even had an album out. So I think he played maybe 1 or 2 things on Street Survivors, but that's about it. You know, he was a special guest on that album or whatever. But anyway, that's my number 3. It's been said. Number 2, the band that set the precedence, man, Foreigner. I mean, when a replacement member announces that he's leaving, and it's like this, oh wow, Kelly's leaving.
Kelly's leaving.
A replacement member's leaving and being replaced by, you know, dude, it's just like,
Karaoke guys leaving.
It's laughable at this point. But again, what Joe said earlier, and I'm not trying to disrespect you, Mark. I know you're a huge Luke. They just announced a tour next year here. They're playing with Night Ranger.
Yeah.
And then Luke Graham is supposed to make an appearance in it. They're grabbing a hold of something, at least, like with Luke Graham. But, you know, I've seen Luke Graham solo twice. He was pretty good, but that was about it, you know.
They're going to prop him up just like they propped up.
He's only going to sing a couple songs, so. Yeah. But they're using that to sell tickets, you know, and whatever, you know. But yeah, Foreigner, they set the precedence for, you know, we're going to see this, man. We're going to see bands morph into just touring entities and just keep going, replacing members. You know, we're at a point now where there's generations past, man. Nobody fucking knows who's in these bands anymore. They don't care. They don't care, man. Us as older fans, we're dying off. You know what I mean? So we were there for like the original incarnations of these bands and all that.
And the excitement.
Once we're gone, man, like that's it, man. It's just like, you know, they'll be like the Four Tops or like these Motown bands that just go out as touring entities with not even a shred of like original member at all, you know. So Foreigner setting the template for that, man.
Yeah,
you know.
And people don't care. People don't care.
It really does. The masses don't care, man.
No.
They see the name and they're like, oh, they sing Jukebox Hero. They sing, I want to know, you know, I want to know what love is, and let's go check it out.
The good thing though for like higher tier rock bands, there's not a lot of bands that can get away with it like they have. Because like I said, they are a faceless band. They've always been a faceless band.
Yeah.
There's Styx will never get away with that. Journey will never get away with that. Journey might. Journey, now that they've gotten away with it without Steve Perry for so long, Journey might get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
because aside from Steve Perry, they were a faceless band.
Right.
But like a lot of these bigger bands, there's going to have to be like one guy that people like know that is still in the band. But like a lot of these bands, thankfully, will not be able to get away with it the way Foreigner has.
Yeah.
It's tough though, because I look at a band like Kansas, and I think they've got one original member that's still
I
touring
forgot
with
to
them.
put them on. I forgot to put them on
But
the list.
but I'll tell you
I was
what,
debating putting them
I was
on,
debating
but
it.
yeah.
you know what? The albums that the last two albums they put out are incredible.
They are.
Incredible albums.
You see,
And
but that's the difference with Kansas. They're still putting out good music or any kind of music. These other bands aren't doing any of that.
Yeah,
But the thing is with Kansas, it really is. It's the last year it's taken a huge downturn because a lot of stuff happened that I didn't know. I didn't realize that Billy Greer had retired, so he's not in the band anymore. Apparently, starting the beginning of this year, well, Phil Ahart hadn't been touring with them because he had a heart attack. So he's basically just their manager now. He's not drumming at all. Starting earlier this year, Rich Williams isn't even touring with them anymore. So literally, there are no original members on stage. There's no member of Kansas currently touring with the band that has been in the band more than 10 years.
Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. When the current singer and the current and Zach Risby came back. So the current singer and one of the guitar players joined the band in 2015. Yeah. That is the longest tenured members of the band currently.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my three. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, my 4-3-2, I am going to go with Madonna as my number 4.
Wow.
She's not putting out new music.
That's a good call.
I can't disagree with that.
She's still touring in lingerie. She looks gross. She's old. Call it a day. You are an icon, a world icon. But enough's enough. There's no need for that. I did say I would like to see her do a tour with her just doing ballads and dressing like a normal human being.
That was her like awesome. her on a stool, just like sitting and singing.
Yeah,
would be
that
amazing.
Would be so awesome. But instead, we're having her gyrate with 19-year-old guys, and who knows what else she's doing. It's just not good, and I don't like it. My next one, I am going to go with. We've already talked about it. Guns N' Roses. I agree with Jimmy. I would rather see Slash with Miles Kennedy, and I'm not that big of a Miles Kennedy fan. But at least it's something better than what they're doing now.
Something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing new from Guns N' Roses at all. Because the stuff that they've given us little hints of, they're fucking little hints because they're little pieces of shit. That's why. And they know it's trash. My number 2, I am with Jimmy. Again, Grand Funk Railroad. I'm a big Grand Funk fan. My uncle introduced me to them. He's a big Mark Farner, sorry. And then when I listen to them, that's all that I pay attention to is Mark Farner. Because he's the singer, the writer, guitar player. He's everything. He's the front guy. I know that there's others. I know that Brewer sings and stuff like that, but Mark Farner is the guy. He just is. And what the rest of the band members did was just take advantage of him, is what happened. It all comes down to money. It's money, money, money. So those are my 4-3-2. All right.
Excellent.
Should we wait for Al? Are you still there? Okay. I told my friend at work that we all do this right before we have our number ones. She goes, I don't believe you. All right. All right, Jimmy, what's your number 1?
I'll tell you what, I forgot something, and Joe reminded me of it. When I initially thought of making my list, Ace was going to be on my list, and then when I made my list, I totally forgot to put Ace on, but 100% saw him a few months before the M3 festival. one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my entire life. He would stop singing in the middle of a song, and one of the
And just
guys
walk
up
away
front,
from the mic.
yeah, one of the guys would cue somebody else in the band, be like, "Hey, he stopped," so they could pick. Those guys are working overtime. Whatever they're getting paid, they're not getting paid nearly enough
I
because
bet you they're not.
the
It's bad.
Wow, that is
awful.
bad.
Yeah, it's sad. But having said that, not to steal anybody's thunder, um, Molly Crew. I, I haven't liked anything since the '94 album, and
I haven't liked anything since Theater of Pain.
and and you know what though? I mean, uh, there was a couple songs on Girls, couple songs on Dr. Feelgood
Couple of
that were
songs.
good songs. But I think if you took a few songs off of Girls, 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 a few songs off of Dr. Feelgood, you could make a pretty good EP.
Yeah.
An EP.
Between those,
No more than 5 songs.
Yeah.
no more than 5 songs. It just, I've never seen a band take so little and go so far. I
Wow.
think had Tommy Lee not married Pamela Anderson and someone not broken into their house and stole some home videos, I think we would have long, they would be a thing of the past.
You think?
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I
Huh.
do because there was a point in time where they couldn't sell out theaters. They couldn't fill a 2,000 seat theater. Um, and that's with the original line. And I don't think it was until all that drama started happening and they finally, because Generations
And then
Fine
the
did
book
good.
got published.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. So um I think that had a lot to do with it because that brought a ton of media attention to Tommy Lee, to the band, and then you kind of get some of that nostalgia for, well, yeah, they were that wild rock and roll band that, you know.
Wild rock and roll band.
And again, how is Tommy Lee still alive? Like, I'm pretty sure that dude still has a regular, dose of.
Penicillin. Or stronger.
He should. He
Every day.
should. But a regular, that dude's not clean. Come on.
None of them are. None of them are.
How is he still alive? How is Vince still alive? And honestly, I have a ton of sympathy for Vince Neil. I really do. I can understand why he's got the substance issues he does.
Yeah, he lost a daughter, and
Nobody should ever have to go through that.
he killed a guy, and he killed one of his friends, and
his life has been rough, dude. Rough.
I think that guy lives to numb the pain, and that's really sad. And but Tommy and Nikki can go kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's my uno.
Number uno. All right,
And
John.
now we will continue the pile on Motley Crue hour. Yeah, I mean, the first thing that came to my head when you sent me this topic, Andy, is Motley Crue, because they left, they retired, they went away, they said goodbye.
I was at that show when they said
and
that.
then the fucking movie happened. And then the goddamn movie happened, and they all just came back again. And just
I never even finished watching that movie. It was terrible.
And it was an awful movie.
It was awful. I didn't finish
now
that.
Fucking hipsters that are my age that couldn't give a shit about Motley Crue 10 years ago think that they're the coolest fucking thing on planet Earth.
Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Oh.
Because now all of a sudden these kids that had no clue who Motley Crue was, all these fucking, they're snorting fire ants, and he's the guy that humped the boat horn with his dick. And like, that's literally what it is. And now it's just pathetic because those kids aren't buying concert tickets, and they did that one tour, and even then, the stadium tour was not as big of a success as I think they thought it was going to be. Now, you can blame some of that on COVID, but you can't blame all of it on COVID. Right. And I think there was more people there probably to see Def Leppard than there was to see Motley Crue.
And really, at that time, people were going to shows anyway, and people were already at that time. It's like now we've learned how to live with it. We learned how to live with COVID. So that's not.
Oh yeah, I was already seeing shows when that thing happened.
Yeah,
and
now
you go to a Motley Crue, you're shooting deer in the balcony. Like they can't sell tickets to save their lives. And now they're doing these Vegas residencies, which that's the sign of any band that's on the downturn. Go stay in Vegas for a couple months, because anyone out there spending all their freaking money is going to just come, Motley Crue's here, we'll go see Motley Crue. Ian Wadley literally just did it. Like, it's anybody that is bored on a Friday night in Vegas will go see Motley Crue. They can't go on tour anymore and sell tickets. It's just not going to happen. And they sound awful. And the thing I said, not to go on a tangent about how just shit of a band Motley Crue is in general, they're a shit band. But I said to my friend last week, when I can legitimately claim that Generation Swine is in my top 3 Motley Crue albums, they're a fucking awful band. That's how bad of a band Motley Crue is. That Generation Swine is unironically my 3rd favorite Motley Crue album.
God.
Like, it's Shout at the Devil, 94, Generation Swine, everything else. They are just that awful of a band. And like Jimmy said, Jimmy put it perfectly. There has never in the history of music been a band that has gotten more out of less than Motley Crue. They are nothing but style. There is no substance there. They have been living off just the aura of Motley Crue for 40 years. Just the stories surrounding them. That's what they're living off of. And exactly like you said, Jimmy, with coming back in the early 2000s, they couldn't sell shit in the late 90s. And then Pam Anderson happened. And then they picked up a little bit. But even in like the tours with that chick drummer and with Castillo, they weren't selling that many tickets. And then the book came out. And then all of a sudden, everybody and their brother wanted to see Motley Crue. And then the Carnival of Sins thing happened. And it sold boatloads.
Yeah.
And it sold, and for years after that, they were selling tickets. They started to have a little bit of a downturn, which is when they did the tour with Kiss, because that's how the band are starting to go on a downturn, is when they start doing those package tours. Yeah. And then we're retiring. So then they sold a boatload more tickets because it was the retirement tour. Yep. And then it's just been a downturn ever since. But yeah, no, fuck Motley Crue. Just all of them. Like you said, I feel bad for Vince, but the other ones can just, and you know what? I feel bad for John 5, because who wouldn't want that paycheck? But honestly, fuck him for taking it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have some credit. Have some credibility. Have some credibility, dude.
I'm pretty sure.
Like, I get that.
Fine. He didn't need a
paycheck. Oh, he's fine. He didn't need the pay. Yeah. He was in Rob Zombie's band for 20 years. He didn't need the paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there was a point where people were just going to see Motley to see what Tommy Lee was going to do with his drum solo.
They were going to see the roller coaster. That's what they were doing.
Yeah. Is he going to go upside down? Is he, what's he going to do? And yeah.
My number one, guess what? Motley Crue.
Oh.
And I'll keep it short and sweet. For a band that made such a big stink, let's sign a contract. We're going to sign a contract.
Mick Mars still owes all of us money.
Yeah.
Mick Mars owes every single one of us money.
Yeah. Let's sign a contract, man. Let's make it legitimate, man. We're never going to tour again or whatever. And then fucking couple years later, they rip up the contract. You're a fucking fraud, man.
Yep.
That's
probably
all those fucking people that spent all that money to see you on that last tour, thinking that was it. I mean, that they're the reason, they're the final nail in the coffin where nobody believes a farewell tour anymore. There's just when Megadeth just announced this, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Right.
They'll be back opening for Five Finger Death Punch in a year. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm not running out to see that.
At least the people who went to see Motley on the final tour got to see Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that was
Phenomenal.
that was the draw for me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he blew them off the stage, dude.
He
Of
really
course
did.
he did.
Yeah,
Of course he did. Alice Cooper is 50 times the musician that
The
any
man.
of them are put together.
He's the man.
and that's because my wife. I mean, when we went, she was there for Motley Crue, but she even said, "Man, Alice Cooper was really good." I said, "Yep, sure was."
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, I
She
don't.
doesn't even like Alice Cooper.
You guys said all you needed to say on Motley Crue. You go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. We all picked Motley Crue. No one picked my number one, but I picked it earlier by accident. But the Rolling Stones. I mean, how much longer?
Yeah.
I mean, Hackney Diamonds
Especially
was,
with Charlie Watts dying.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that should have been it.
yeah, right there should have been it.
I think it should have folded after that one
Yeah.
too.
Finish your obligation.
It's the Mick and Keith show now.
Yeah.
No, it's just that the Hackney Diamonds was not a good album, even though I loved it when it first came out. But it did not age well. But like even before that, it had been decades since they did something good, like really something good. Steel Wheels made a lot of noise, but was the album really that good? No, it wasn't. It's been a long time. It's been since '78 since Some Girls that they had done anything remotely good. Everything else was just a hit song and a video that was on there.
Let me ask you guys something about the Stones, man. From Tattoo You on, not including Tattoo You, but anything after Tattoo You, what do you think is their best album after Tattoo You? What would you pick? For me, I'd go Voodoo Lounge. I think there's some good stuff on there, but that's really.
I mean, I'm kind of with Andy. It's like a single here, a single there. That's about it. I wouldn't. I mean,
all through those years, you could pick certain songs and make a good album out.
Oh yeah, you could get some really good stuff. But like, I mean, the Stones aren't even in my top 20 bands to begin with. But
yeah, they're not even in my top 10
for me. Like, there's not a single Stones album after the 70s there's not a single Stones album after the 70s that I would go out of my way to listen to.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. It was just a question I was throwing out there.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I would have to go with didn't they have an album called Dirty Work?
Yeah.
At that time?
Yeah, 86.
Yeah. They really did some pretty good guitar work there. A little bit of more of the time guitar work on that album. It was pretty good.
I think people get turned off by the album cover.
Yeah, the album cover is terrible.
So stupid.
Them and their I guess.
I think One Hit to the Body is a pretty damn good song.
Yeah,
Pastel Suits or whatever.
Yeah,
but dude, that's a good hard rock album. It really is. But after that, it just got so over the top and so overproduced and
long.
Yeah,
the albums were really, really long. Like, because I was thinking about what would I choose? Bigger Bang had some really good songs, but when I think about that record,
it's over long.
I can't sit down and listen to it in one sitting.
No, it's too long.
It's too long. Yeah.
And the stuff that is bad, it brings you down, and it feels like it's forever.
Yeah.
And the Rolling Stones just have to call it a day, man. And again, a lot of soccer moms go see them now. That's what they turned into.
Again, it's another band I saw, a year and a half ago, whatever, and it was more for taking my daughter to go see them. I had seen them before that, so I saw them before COVID, when Charlie was still alive. So, but at least I got her to see them too. I'm trying to get her to see all the classic bands.
That's cool.
Even if they're kind of a shell of themselves.
Oh, yeah, but that's different. You've never seen them before. You want to share that with her.
Yeah,
which is understandable. But
I do want to take her to see Rush next year.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. Ticket prices for that.
That's expensive. I don't think I'm going to go see them in Fort Worth after I saw those prices.
No, but honestly, like I think right now the excitement is just at an all-time high. Of course, they're going to charge an arm and a leg for these tickets because right now it's like everything is like red hot.
Shocking news.
Yeah, But I'm gonna wait it out. You know, I think ticket prices will drop.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, my coworker, he shot me a the other day when the pre-sale for Citibank happened or whatever. And then after a couple days after, he shot me a screenshot of some tickets on StubHub for the Toronto show, and they were under $200. It was like $179
Oh, you see,
for
that's
like
understandable.
I mean, I'll pay that. You know what I mean? But I'm not paying no fucking $1,000, dude. I love Rush, but they're my favorite band of all time. But I'm not fucking paying to see. I'm not gonna mortgage my house to go see them, dude. No way. You know.
Yeah,
But I know there's a couple ways I'm thinking of this. So I'm gonna wait it out. My cousin lives in Fort Worth as well, so he invited me to his house to stay with him. If I could find some tickets in Texas for cheap, I'll snatch them up. I have a free place to stay, and I think the tickets to Texas will be cheaper than New York City. That's a given because Madison Square Garden is just outrageous to begin with. Every concert, you got to pay all those union fees, all that bullshit. But in the New York City area, I've made enough friends through the years in the radio business and stuff. If I can get freebies, and I might be able to score them, then I can probably legitimately take a trip up to New Jersey too. If I don't have to pay for the tickets, I don't mind paying an airfare and staying with family or friends up there. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I'm waiting it out though. I'm not falling for the whole. I'm going to jump on Ticketmaster, pay $1,500 for a ticket. No way, dude. This is no way.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm 4 hours from the city, and I want to go so bad, but
it's ridiculous though, man.
There's no way.
Concert tickets are just way out of control, man.
Just driving into New York is expensive. Like, what I mean? Not to even get into the
reason why
prices.
I go to so many shows is because I get free tickets, man. That's the only reason why I go to, I mean, King's X is coming down here, I think, next month. I'm paying for that because I love them, But I mean, I'll pay for a ticket.
You're not dropping $1,000 for that.
No, I'm not dropping $1,000, bro. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I might go see Piercy and Martini on Friday, only because I've never seen Warren DeMartini, and I'd love to see him at least once live. I saw Piercy when he toured with a few years ago when he did it with Juan Crucier. But it's just weird seeing guitar players up there, and not one of them is DeMartini, bro. And I'm like, shit, And
it's cool because they're touring with Cavazo too, so it's
so it's really it really is like the last incarnation of Rat, pretty much, So
just without Blotzer and Crucier,
which is already it doesn't matter anyway. So but anyway, enough about my ranting.
All right, guys. Any parting words for the audience out there?
What do you got going on, Joe?
Yeah.
What's your newest episode of Heavy Water 77?
So our last episode is
Kilroy.
Surprisingly, I thought there'd be more views on that just because people love a train wreck.
Right.
Surprisingly not, but so we're hoping to get some more views on that. Jerry and I will be recording our review of the infamous Caught in the Act coming up here soon. So that'll be our next episode. Like you guys mentioned at the beginning,
I was actually at a thrift store and I saw that DVD and I ended up buying it. It was only like $2.
Yeah, I got that dude. Out in the Act.
Yeah,
I got.
It was that one, and it was a later one that came out as well. I can't remember the name of it now. I know you got probably all of them. No, it's not that one. It's that one, I think. What's the other ones you have?
These are the only three I have.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think it's that one.
The one when they did the Grand Illusion Pieces of 8.
Yes, that one. Yeah, yep. That's the one. Yes,
I love this DVD. Yeah. I love this DVD.
Yeah, I found those. I found that one and Caught the Act at a thrift store, and I picked them up both up. I didn't have them, so
yeah. I mean, this one's pretty cool just because it comes with all the music videos too. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah. We'll be reviewing the album and the concert. So
cool.
Interesting. Like you guys mentioned at the beginning of the show, I have started my radio show on Cranium Radio on Sunday nights. I'm sorry to say
I missed that your first show.
Yeah, well, I'm having a great time though. Unfortunately, I will not be probably doing it this Sunday night. My buddy and I are most likely going to see Mushroom Head and Psycho Stick this Sunday night.
Oh wow!
Just a fun show.
That's a fun show.
Yeah.
But yeah. So also really cool thing. I saw an ad for yesterday on like a random Thursday night next month. At like a little record store, they have about 45 minutes from me, actually, in Hagerstown, Maryland, where Kix is from. There's this little record store that has like a venue attached to it, and there's going to be a Frank Zappa tribute band playing there on a Thursday night.
Cool.
With Chad Walkerman on drums.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
So
nice.
That's worth
I'm going to see that.
Yeah, it's worth going to see.
For $25. Yeah, that's happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So cool. That'll be next month, but yeah. Plus then coming up, I think is the beginning of December is when the Queensryche Accept tour is coming around here. And I'm definitely going to see that. So.
Oh yeah, ours is next month.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that.
We have one show that's playing locally here, like the day before Thanksgiving. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be in the city at a venue the day before Thanksgiving, because that's always the big drinking night, and I don't know about wanting to mess around in the city on the night before Thanksgiving.
A lot of traveling at that time too.
Yeah. But then it's like on like a Saturday in December they're playing around here too. I think we're gonna go see that show. Yeah,
we back in the day when I was younger, when I moved to Houston, I still go to my mom's for every Thanksgiving, but I think I was 24 or 25 at that time. And I would leave work here in Houston and drive to Corpus, which is about 4 hours away. Back then, the car was a party car. We would just get so fucked up for the whole 4 hours, because I would leave work, and by the time we left Houston or whatever, it was like 11 o'clock at night. And we'd get to my mom's like at 3 a.m. But who knows how the hell we would get there during that time. It was a good time.
But by the grace of God, you got there and back.
I tell you, I had guardian angels around my car. I don't know how many times, but now I just, And now,
those days are long gone.
And now, like these days, I'm all like, should I take another Claritin? It does say one a day. I'll just wait till tomorrow.
Oh man!
Back then, I'd be all, "What's that? Sure, no problem." And now I can't take more than one a day of Claritin. Good old day,
man.
All right, guys.
I know you're off next week, Andy, so we won't have a show next week.
But I will be, interestingly enough, my wife and I are taking a tour of the Texas Panhandle, and we're going to stop at Buddy Holly's home and his museum. Nice. And from there, we're going to be traveling a little bit east and go to Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, his hometown, and his museum. So that's going to be cool. And we're going to do a lot of hiking and stuff like that. So I'll be gone for about a week. So
yeah, no show next week.
Yeah.
And I'll think of something for us to do the following week. So
okay. Cool.
All right. And I'll put the word out and see if anybody else wants to come on.
All right. Sounds cool.
All right.
Do the ranking of modern day Ted Nugent songs.
Oh God.
I'm sure Bridge Over Troubled Daughters will be on tap.
Where there has to be a food in the title.
Yeah.
Either a food or guns.
Food or a gun. You get bonus for both.
Yeah.
Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah. Guns and barbecue is number one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Al and I thank y'all for being here. Also, Al and I thank everybody for watching. Thanks a lot, Ben Oberheim, for being with us and for commenting with us. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Remember, keep them spinning. Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.